In this video, I'm going to show you how to create an XY scatter plot and then easily add some additional features on the chart. So let's take a look at the data. Here we have 5 months and we have 5 data points. So step 1, we want to plot the 5 months of data in a basic XY scatter chart. So let's just select the data over here, click Insert here at the top, and then we want to scroll over and select this icon, which is the XY scatter, and we'll select the first one here. So now we have a basic chart, and what I'm going to do next is just change a couple of things. See how the first dot is here, dot number 1, or x1, and a 200, which corresponds to what we have here. I want to change this so it starts at 150. So I'm going to double left click on the y-axis. That brings this up. And I'm going to say, change this, type in 15 and leave the 0. That's 150. And now we see how it's starting at 150. Actually, I'm going to change that once more to 170. So we'll go back 170 and close it. Also, I want to have it start at 1, not a 0 over here. Double left click the x-axis and say the minimum is a 1. And I'm going to close this one. Now, it kind of defaults to 1.5. I don't really want to see that. So I'm going to double left click one more time and major unit, make that be a 1. Okay, so here's our chart so far. Step 2, add a trend line. So you right click on any of these points, select, maybe it's off the screen, I'll move this up slightly, select any of the points, add a trend line, and it's going to ask us which one. So really, in a basic way, if the trend line is linear, the data is going to increase or decrease at a relatively steady rate. So let's now look at step 3, and that is we want to see the equation on the chart. So once again, we'll go back to this, right click on a data point, add trend line, and then in the little box here, what we want to do is scroll down, and we want to check this, display equation on chart. So we'll move this to the side, and now we see we have the equation here. So I'm just going to take this and move it down here. Now, you can actually change some of the formatting in here. You can make it slightly larger, or you could highlight what's inside and Control B to bold it. Even right click it, and sometimes, let's say, you could change the color in there to make it stand out a bit. We'll make that maybe blue. Step 4, we want to project forward until month 12. So currently we only have 5 months of data. So once again, we're going to right click on one of these points, add trend line. I'll bring this back over here, scroll this down, and we're going to say we want to forecast forward, and we're going to just say 7 more. So we have a total of 12. 5 original points plus 7 more. We still want this, and I'm just going to move this to the side now, and it actually put the equation on twice. So I'll just delete this one, and we say it was the same equation. So we'll just put that right there, and now we're going to go to step 5, which is probably the toughest step. How can I get the actual trend line values? So we see the values are sometimes a little bit above or below the line, but someone wants to see the actual values that represent what that little dotted trend line is doing. So we can do that. We'll just take a few steps here. Now, we want to get the same values we have here, so what we're going to do is this. We're going to calculate the slope and the intercept. We need both of those pieces of information. So I'm just going to copy this little title here from below, the slope and the intercept. And then, of course, the slope is basically this. We type in slope, and known y's would be this part, comma, known x's, this is the x-axis down here, horizontal. We highlight that part, and we press enter. So there's 30.9, which is the same as we see here in the equation. And then, of course, for intercept, what we can do is go in the formula bar, copy this, go over here, paste it, select that, and just change it to intercept. Press enter. 165.3, which is the same we have here. So now we're going to create the formula. we need to essentially create this formula right here, y equals mx plus b. And that means when we see the y here, the m is the slope, so it's 30.9 multiplied by our x value. So it could be x could be 1, 2, 3, corresponding to what we have here. And then we're going to add in the 165.3, which is the b, the intercept, where this line crosses over on the y-axis here. So we go over here, we type in equals, and we need to say this value, press F4 to lock it, multiplied by our x, which is month 1, plus 165.3, and I'll lock that as well. And I press enter. So we're going to drag this all the way down, and I need to extend this to get 12 points. So I just drag this down. There's the 12 points, and now I'm going to drag this one all the way down, and we see all of the different points. So you can actually look at the months here. Let's say we take the 12, and that's 536. You can look over here, and as you go up, you see that it actually does correspond to about 536.